everyone, it's Naomi and welcome to the Firecracker Department After Show. This is when we pull together some of the core team members, but also some of our community members, and we talk about past episodes and what jazzed us, what got us excited, what we want to make into a Pinterest board of some sort because of the inspiration. On the panel today, we've got one of our Firecracker Department community members, Anne-Marie Krytuik, or Krytuik, if you're Ukrainian. Anne-Marie's part of our writing department sessions, and it's always a delight to see you every week that we do those sessions. So I'm so happy that you reached out to us, and I'm so happy to have you part of this panel. And now we have Emily and AJ, who are our regulars at the After Show. Emily's in Los Angeles. She runs the Firecracker Wellness Department, and she also produces the After Show. And then AJ is in Los Angeles, sometimes Toronto, and she does brand kit stuff. She also does content creation, and she also produces the After Show. Thrilled to have you all here when we are talking about a past episode that I had a chat with Rebecca Leib. Now, Rebecca, I love this chat so much because one of the things Firecracker Department definitely believes in is like that we are all in this together for surezies, but that there are some people that are like, have resumes, like really, really long resumes, and some people are just starting out. And Rebecca isn't just starting out, like she's been in a bunch of writing room. You'll know her podcast, Ghost Town, and she also does stand up, and she's just a go-getter, but she hasn't like done the thing she's gonna do yet, but man, she's gonna do something great because she's just a dynamo. I so loved my chat with Rebecca, and I'm so glad that we connected. Emily, what did you think about my discussion with Rebecca?
Well, I loved how she talked about self-awareness is important in comedy. And that really resonated, especially obviously for now. But I think it's always been there, whether people realized it or not. And I think it's huge because if you're not self-aware enough, your comedy is not going to be authentic, is how I feel about it. So I thought that was a really good point to make.
But also being aware of others, because she doesn't just write comedy for herself, right? Like she writes for people, which like for me, that is like there's writing and then there's being able to write in someone else's voice. Yeah. And, being aware of yourself, but also being so aware of how you make sure that you aren't in absolutely everything you're putting out there. Like what a remarkable challenge to put yourself through. It's such a cool job to have.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. I mean, it's one of those things, like if you think about the shows that you binge watch the most, like something like The Office, which is my go-to for anything, like I think I've got the rhythm of those voices pretty clearly embedded in my head. But she's just like, I mean, she's been in so many different writers' rooms that she's able to really connect to those too. Anne-Marie, what did you think about the chat?
I loved it. I love her. I think she's fascinating. I'm just going to say the thing that I was most excited about, which is the most out there, about her being a celebrity tarot card reader at parties.
I wrote that down too.
That is a podcast in and of itself.
And I'm sorry, she just slipped it in there like it was like, oh, and yesterday I washed my socks. And I was like, we didn't talk about that at all. What do you mean? What? In the past life?
Like, talk about leave you wanting more. Like yes. I need to know.
Yeah, and that was like halfway through the podcast. Naomi, excuse me.
You dropped the ball.
I'm obviously not very good at my job.
But more like on topic in terms of her career.
It's all on topic.
Yeah, that was one of her stepping stones. The confidence to say no to things in order to help you get to that next level. That really spoke to me. And being able to trust that.
Deal with that? Are you able to say no, Anne-Marie?
I'm getting better. I've been getting better the past couple of years because I have been known to very much be a yes person and just like, yeah, okay, let's experience that. And yes, let's experience that. And okay. And oh, wow, you want to cast me in this? Amazing. And then like slowly being like, oh no, this is not a good fit. Okay. Or like if I say yes, there has been a time where there was 2 potential yeses at the same time, but they would like opportunities that conflicted with each other. And I really wanted to do both, but I knew which one would Oh, someone said this. I don't know, and I think it's a thing that maybe it's even a quote that I read somewhere in terms of like choosing jobs that they I wish I could speak. Like that they follow these different that there's these different categories, and as long as they check those like certain amount of those boxes, like 2 of the 3 boxes, like something in terms of financially, also like sets your heart on fire, and something that will also help
or
you
charity.
in terms of pardon
Or charity. It's like money, heart, or charity. Or career advancement.
Yes,
maybe
career
more,
advancement.
but I know what you mean, and it is a really good, it's a good watermark for that kind of
and
thing,
that's sure. And so I've had that once where I had to be like, okay, I love you both, but I got it.
But it's hard, right? Like it takes life experience to know what, like I meet people that just know. Like I have a younger brother that's like, no, I wouldn't be into that. I'm like, but don't you want to try? He goes, no, not my brand. I'm like, gosh, I will try. Like, like I'm like, I'll give anything a shot as long as it doesn't kill me, kill someone else, or like leave a damage, like. And my brother's like, not my
Those
vibe.
are your standards.
Well,
those are your standards. Kill me, kill someone else.
Kill me, kill those are some.
Mine has to have an element of fun. There always has to be some kind of element of fun, or at least like a promise of fun.
Yeah, when it comes to the arts, I for me it has to be either I'm doing it because I'm so passionate. It's something I'm so passionate about. I can't do it. I am making a boatload of money, or I'm learning something new. And like those I now, but it took me, almost 10 years of saying yes to a lot of stuff to go, oh, that's not great anymore. And then like reimagining the past.
But I can always learn something new. Like even if I'm doing something old, I'm learning something new. So I can really trick myself into saying yes to everything, because then I'll be like, well, I haven't worked in Utah before, so that's something new.
Or with these specific people at this time, so I'll learn from at least one of them.
Exactly.
I look at it.
What do you think about it? Yeah,
this seems like my roller coaster fear. Yes, I feel like I have said yes so many times, and then freaked out right before I got on the roller coaster that finally, eventually, I was like, you know what? I'm good. I don't like roller coasters, and I'm not going to go on it anymore. So I do think that the saying no to things comes with age too, because I feel like you kind of have to go through it to realize not for me. And I'm okay with that now.
Yeah.
Also, like, I mean,
you have to find yourself in the middle of a project where you're lying in cold mud at 2 o'clock in the morning going, I could have said no to this one. Yeah.
I could be at home.
This as a volunteer. What if I,
And also, I
what
found
keep going.
one thought that really stuck with me when I was growing up would be, okay, you miss 100% of the shots you never take. So like, go for it. And finally I had to be like, you know what? That's true. Maybe not all the shots are for me. That is okay. Like realizing that.
But it takes life to get there, right? Like even when it comes to like in the arts, like you have to be an actor, you have to be able to sustain yourself somewhere else at the beginning, right? And so deciding what that path is really challenging, because you don't want to do something that takes away from your opportunity to do something else. But like for me, when I was in my early 20s, I didn't want to not take an opportunity to learn something new while I was waiting for my agent to call me. And like that back and forth, it takes forever to figure out. And there is an element of just allowing fate or faith or whatever you rest your belief system in to just move you forward, and know, you can say no to stuff and probably another door will open. I
just remember listening to Rebecca talk. Oh yeah. Do you want to keep going?
No, please continue.
And I was just thinking like how awesome her writer's room is going to be when she runs one. Like she's just got such a great vision, and I don't know, if you're already there before you have your writer's room, like there's so much more hope to having like positive experiences in writer's room.
And her personality.
Any final thoughts about? And like, or Anne-Marie, go.
I was just saying her personality is so lovely and there's so many elements of it that I'm like, I kind of wish I had that. Like that whole in terms of who cares when you're writing an email and there's like mistakes or whatever, like that it's more powerful to actually have the courage to send it rather than to like stress about the perfect and I still do that in addition to all of the lists. When she was talking about being a super list maker, I transfer list to list, and if I've crossed off most things but the 2 things, then I'll transfer those 2 things to a new list just so I can rip that list up and be like, oh yeah, it's done.
Yeah, so satisfying.
I do that too.
It's not actually done.
Yeah.
But a lot of those are like specific emails or things to write. And so the fact that she's just like, who cares? Just do it. Just do it. And you know what? If they judge you for like this mistake or this not flowing properly, then did you really want to work with that person? Yeah. And I loved that.
So true.
Emily, AJ, any final thoughts?
I like what she talked about stressing about things, you know, she changed from one job to another and she found herself having the same stresses. And I think that too, when it like shifts between different projects you're working on, you know, like you stress about the things you care about. And it's so important to listen to those stresses and try and like really understand what they're coming from.
Yeah. I care about everything. I'm constantly stressed.
But also that like now art isn't a thing of stress. Like it isn't a point of stress anymore. Now when she draws or like goes and sees art, like that's calming, and it's more the comedy, which used to be her escape, is now like the stress because well, that's how she's making her money. So
Yeah. Emily, any final thoughts?
Nobody knows what they're doing.
Yes.
Yeah. Put that on your wall. Hello. Right? Yes. I think if we all knew that.
In these discussions. That's been a recurring theme too. There's a lot of firecrackers in these podcasts that talk about nobody knows. Don't worry about anybody else because everybody else is worried about themselves.
So true.
Yeah. That should be on put that on your whiteboard behind you, Emily.
Nobody you see that?
I'm getting a decal. I'm taking down the live, laugh, love. But no, everyone's screwing up.
That's right.
Her answers in general to like the rapid fire were amazing. That she wanted to be known for baking or like at least a chocolate cake or one thing she wants to do before she dies, get bangs.
Get bangs. Yeah. I love it.
Speaking of getting bangs,
what
are you doing these days that is new to your face? I don't know. I'm gonna own that one. What's going on in your world that you're working on? Like, you know, maybe you're cutting bangs, but maybe you're doing something else that's new. Emily, what's going on in your world?
I mean, I'm trying to put on purple eyeshadow because it's supposed to bring out blue eyes. So I was like, ooh, I'm trying that. Sure.
Okay.
And
if you want to follow Emily's journey with purple eyeshadow, you can go to her Twitter and Instagram account. But I also know that you have some great content coming out. You've got ladiesonAbench.com.
That's right. Friends on a Bench. But we also, Naomi and she was so gracious to be in our movie, Stark Raving Actress. And it is, we did the trailer. It's out now. We're going to launch the movie soon. And it's going to festivals as we speak.
Oh my gosh. If you want to see Emily as a blonde woman with a trench coat, a fedora, and sunglasses, it's one of my favorite yeses that I've ever done is saying yes to
oh, yay!
It's such a fun ride. AJ, what about you? What have you got on your plate these days that we can support?
Listen, in the same theme, I bought blue eyeliner thinking that I could be very, and then I put it on and I just look like a colorblind goth. So it didn't quite, it didn't do the high fashion thing that, you know, Pinterest told me it would. But in my real world, I am writing a new short film and trying to figure out how I get back into animation because that seems to be where a lot of my excitement comes when it comes to writing. So that's going to keep me busy for a while.
I love it. I wish that we could all follow each other's Instagrams and find out about these eye makeup tips later on.
I'm
I
gonna
have
start
no
my
eye
own
makeup
tutorial.
tips, but I love it. I love it. Anne-Marie, what's going on in your world that we can support?
Nothing crazy makeup wise. I did get these
Okay.
really huge like bobby pins, like giant ones, because I thought, oh, maybe I can do something fun, and instead of using a hair elastic, like have them stick in. No, it just no. They're just
Don't give
they're
up.
pretty, so they just
messing
like
around.
sit
Don't
against
trying.
my.
Keep
Yeah.
trying.
Oh,
You can do the
that's
whole
true.
armor. I did that for a wedding once, and my boyfriend looked at me. He was like, "Is something wrong? What are you holding in there?" I was like, "It's just a bob. It's stylish." He goes,
Style, yeah.
Nobody likes to have somebody look at their face and go, "Is something wrong?"
"What are
Especially at
you?
a
What are you
wedding.
trying to hold? Yeah, what are you trying to hold in there?"
What? Do that as a pet? Anne-Marie, do you have anything creatively? I know you're writing. You're writing all the time because you're part of our
writing
team.
department. We're hoping to turn some of our writing into potentially something more for actual consumption for people to
I love it.
view and enjoy. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, exciting things in the writing department on Thursdays. You should join us.
Yeah.
There you go. That's it. For Firecracker Department, we have our TIFF party coming up September 13th. I don't know when this is airing. Maybe it's already happened by now. We had a great time. I know that much. If it hasn't happened by now, you should come and join us for our TIFF party because it's international. It's all online. And then I'm writing and pitching some new,
I'll wear
I'm
my
writing some new concepts to pitch. I mean, everybody could just wear Firecracker makeup. Anything goes for those parties.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the launch of all of your eye makeup ideas.
It is.
That's what I'm asking for. Hey, if you want to know more about eye makeup ideas and also Firecracker Department, go to firecrackerdepartment.com. We don't have a makeup department yet, but who knows, one day. Dream a dream. Firecrackerdepartment.com, and on Instagram and Twitter, it's firecrackerDEPT. Let us know what you thought about our after show chat. If you want to come and join us for an after show chat, drop us a line. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and maybe leave a review because that's super nice and it helps our community grow. Thanks so much to this panel, Emily, AJ, and Anne-Marie. It's been a treat. See you next time on the after show. Bye.
Bye.